عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh Hamdi. Shaykh Fadhlalla.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I'm going to be very brief. I'm just going to make an introduction of both of you. And I'm going to do that by just reading two short poems. And then I'm going to leave it to you two to carry on. The first, this is a poem from Shaykh Fadhlalla's book of poems called Look Again. And it says this: to acknowledge all signs, sight and sound, and tastes, and then step aside, forget all, including yourself, to die in harmony itself, to be at one, celebrating life itself. With that light illumines life itself. And the second one, very brief, it's called Haqq, or truth. Most perplexing, losing myself first, then losing all, then losing all else. Whenever I am absent, it is effulgent. Whenever it appears, I am lost. There to be seen, the true, the divine dance. So it's my honor and pleasure to introduce you to Shaykh Fadhlalla Haeri and Shaykh Hamdi Aissa. Please, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shaykh Fadhlalla, how are you doing?
Bismillah.
Somehow I cannot hear you. Sidi Shaykh Fadhlalla, I cannot hear you somehow.
I didn't make noise. Now I am making.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam, salam, marhaba, marhaba.
Alhamdulillah. How is the volume on? They may raise the volume on their side, or it's on our side. We need to raise the volume on their side. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. Barakallahu feekum. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. So it's a great honor to be with you today. It's a great honor to see your face today. It's a great pleasure as well. هذا الحمد لله فضل.
Thank you.
نبدأ.
Thank you.
الحمد لله هذا فضل من الله. هذا فضل من الله الحمد لله. نحن نقول رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري. نقول ربي إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. ربي إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. ربي إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. ونقول ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. So these prayers to, the prayer of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, to when he felt the nearness of the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he just manifested his need for it. And we are in need for any rahmah, for any fadl, for any grace, for any manifestation of a grace that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows on us. We are in need, in great need, in dire need. And this meeting is coming in that moment of great need indeed. And ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. That's what the people of the Kahf, when they went to the Kahf, they والفتية to the Kahf فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. So we say the same thing. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. Inshallah, people like you and this presence, actually, presence, this whole presence, this holy presence between souls who are seeking Haqq is the Kahf, huh? Today, in which we seek refuge in. And we say, ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us this, His divine love and this divine connection, this rahmah, and we ask Him to give us as well maturity, so spiritual maturity, so we can grow through this and we can benefit through this. Alhamdulillah. So I'm here to learn from you more than anything else, to really hear few words of Haqq, as you said, to Hajj Mustafa, from you, inshallah. Allah bless you. And
Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. It is an amazing miracle that wherever life appears, whatever life has touched, that entity, whether it's a small ant or a virus or an elephant, is driven to experience higher and higher consciousness. And it is driven to move along the ladder of higher awareness and intelligence, more intelligent, more intelligent, more intelligent. This is how nature is. Wherever that divine touch manifests, it is driving itself in frenzy until it knows that there is none other than the one. يا أيها الإنسان إنك كادح إلى ربك كدحا فملاقيه. No option other than that struggle. خلقنا الإنسان في كبد. No option other than wandering this way and that way, and more wealth, more power, more knowledge, more this, more that. Until you know that كل من أمر ربي. There is no independent entity or identity. We're all deriving this energy from the sacred source, from that boundless infinite consciousness. It has no time that it is not there. There is no place that it is not there. فأينما تولوا ثم وجه الله. Once you know there is this perfect governance of Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, then your heart is in sukoon. Then you can truly live. يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية. نفس المطمئنة is a ruh, because the shadow of the ruh, the nafs, can never be mutma'in. It's a shadow. It has no sustainability. It has no samadiyah. So it is the ruh that is min amri Rabbi, as-samad, al-wahid al-ahad. So irji'i ila rabbik. Now you are certain that all of it is under the same control. And now you are radiyah, mardi. Then you can truly enter into the unity of ibadah. فادخلي في عبادي. Then العابد انتهى أمره والمعبود ليس له لا بداية ولا نهاية. So ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية وادخلي في عبادي. Now it has entered into the unific state of true نورانية عبادية. وادخلي جنتي. Once you have completed ibadah, once there is no more you, there is only the nur that is transmitted from the ma'bud upon the ibad, then you are in the Jannah. That is why nobody is content, nobody is secure, nobody is certain about anything. No matter how much you have accumulated of awareness, goodness, presence, all of the other great attributes, all of the wonderful divine attributes, generosity, kindness, sabr, and, not until you have completely lost everything, then there is only the nur of al-Wahid al-Ahad. Then you are content. Then you can begin to see things in their true nature, meaning they've all emanated from the source. There is no sustainability in anything except what the sustainer himself, what Allah Azza wa Jal decrees. And that's how it is. The rest is all mental format and hope and belief and seeking this and seeking that and avoiding this and acknowledging that, which are necessary. As a child, you and I must pursue what we like to have, which is comfort, ease, contentment, well-beingness, rest, acknowledgement, love, all of these things. As you grow more, you find all other human beings are the same, but there is a differentiated sameness. There is a slight difference. Their environment, their upbringing, their culture, their deen. So there are slight differences. Flavors are different. But the nur واحد. البحر واحد والسمك ألوان. That's what it is. Then you truly understand the amazing power and qudra of Al-Muhaymin, Allah Azza wa Jal. Then you begin to truly relax. Now that you know the Malik al-Mulk, the creator, Al-Khaliq, Al-Musawwir, is the same one. So you truly begin to experience Raha from the same root of Ruh. Ruhun wa Rayhan. So you just do the little you can in order to maintain that state. So as you are within the bounds of human possibilities, which has been given to it by divine generosity, then you are in a way attained, achieved, performed your duty. Now you have to wait until the veils of the mind, of time, of movement, of shadows disappear through death. Once the body and all other shadows and all other illusions disappear, now it is no more basar, it is the basira. And the basira is Rabbaniya. روحانية. So you have moved then to another state of higher consciousness. So we are all, each one of us is in a process. That's why the earth is a tiny little halfway house, an intermediate state. That a child has no clue as to who she or he is. But with the interaction with the mother and the parents, by the time he or she is 1 or 2 years old, has a personality. I don't like this. I like this. I want that. And it appreciates being loved. And it appreciates being acknowledged. It appreciates to be helped. But by the time you are 30 or 40, you are interactive. You give and take, give and take. Until such time, you learn by grace and rahmatillah that the giver and the taker is only there because of the power of the maker. You are at best an agent. Do this, do that, go there, teach, help, read Quran or whatever. You're an agent, given a role. And it is through wisdom that you know that this role may stop any minute. You're ready, give it up. Yeah, I was a teacher, I was a father, I was a this, I was a builder of this, or a mosque, or a doer, or a... It's gone. Where are they? Millions and millions and millions of people. Where are they? What happened? In ahsantum, فلأنفسكم. If you have done goodness, if you have been generous, kind, helpful, it's for your own self to get out of yourself, to allow the ruh to lead. Otherwise, the self ammaratun bisu. You never know. Oh no, you see, I've been so kind to everybody, they have not appreciated me now. I must go somewhere else and find people now who will, respect me more. On and on and on. So we're all the time as humans looking for better goodness, benefit, seeking where can we be appreciated, acknowledged, on and on and on, until you know that this is all rubbish. This is all deception. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. This is the makr of Allah that you are saying. Now this is a bigger community, nicer mosque, more. What are you talking about? It's life emanates from a life giver, belongs to the life giver, only to be worshipped. لِيَعْبُدُونَ وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So it's for that reason. So as we do our part, we need to participate in the evolution of the anfus, of the egos towards the arwah. We need to participate by doing our little best not to fall into, again, the egotistic cycle again. Admired, loved, names put up everywhere, this. This is all right for children. Human beings have evolved considerably. The last 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years have been a considerable rise in consciousness and in intelligence. Now you're at the zone of spiritual intelligence. Spiritual intelligence is to lose you. Let the so-called you to the side and witness. Inna arsalnaka shahidan. How do you witness? There is you in it, then you distort it. وَمُبَشِّرًا. This shahada will lead you to bashara. And bashara also the same word from bashar, bashariya, humanity. إِنَّا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ شَاهِدًا وَمُبَشِّرًا. The good news, the greatest news, what is it? كَانَ اللَّهُ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ شَيْءٌ مَعَهُ وَهُوَ كَمَا كَانَ. Allah, Allah, Allah. So you have no more concern, worries, sorrow. And if only I'm so concerned. Who are you to be concerned? Are you not witnessing the qayyumiyya? Allah is in charge. If all of us, many of us, want to also go to the decadence and the corruption and lies, entire society collapse, as it does many a time. Just look around you now. Look at the collapsing many of our culture. Excessive illusion that I am the so-called I. All of the egotistic tendencies, short-term pleasures, short-term attempt to lose your nafs. It doesn't. With this short-term pleasure, it becomes worse and worse and worse until everybody accuses everybody else. Look at the politics in most countries. There is not an iota of honesty. How can you survive without honesty? How can you survive without faith and trust and love and generosity, giving for its own sake? You know, that's why we can be on the edge of extinction. It's a natural end to an unnatural conduct and awareness and accountability and honesty. So that's how it is. Iqra, read it. So this is how it is now. We have to share it with people who have insight, who have basira. Say, look here, collectively we will suffer. واتقوا فتنة لا تصيبن الذين ظلموا منكم خاصة. Some people have done wrong somewhere else, you know, clogged the oceans with rubbish and this and that and the pollution. It will affect all of us, not just them. That's why collectively we have to be vigilant. That is why care for the environment, fear for the irreversibility of the damage is a good cause to have globally for everyone. It's important. These may be the beginnings of genuine waking up to our irresponsibilities and stupid behavior before it's too late. But the good news is that Allah is in charge. Al-Qayyum. And if you truly awaken to your own ruh, then you have la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. You have no fear of death. Death of what? The body has to die. The mind has to stop. So well, not a big deal. You really. So you know your ruh will continue, and it is min amri Rabbi. But in the meantime, you want goodness for everyone at any time, any place. So whatever there is left that you can contribute, you'll do it. But without the hala and wala and all of that. So look here, Baba, we are doing it collectively. We are all sufferers. That's it. We have to stop it. By how? Awareness, awareness, awareness. How? The moment. Time. Now. Min amri Rabbi. The only connection we have with the eternal reality itself, with Allah Azza wa Jal, is the time. Allah is in timelessness. Allah is eternal. The so-called I is not. I have a birth and I have a death. But what gives me that light of life and love is also eternal. You know, it is not subject to limitations because it is min amri Rabbi. And Rabbi is eternal. So this is the good news. In the meantime, I have to celebrate it, live it, enjoy it, and help those who are less fortunate, if they want to. And if they don't, you can't impose it. You can't just go around warning people, frightening people. It doesn't work. They must be receptive for their own sake, because everybody wants benefit for themselves. And the ultimate benefit to know that your nafs, yourself, your ego was only a guide only a shadow, only a distraction that leads you to the ultimate attraction of the nur of your own heart, of your ruh. That's the whole story. That doesn't need 50 years of studies. It needs honesty, courage, and application, and be with those who are on the same path. And the path is very simple, that it is timeless, it is eternal, but being approached by an entity like you, I, he, and she, who is not eternal, who is longing to know where is the eternal? How does it connect with the eternal? Until you know that it is there by grace, by rahmah of the eternal. And then, ارجعي إلى ربك راضية وادخلي في عبادي. Then you become, as the Quran describes, كل يسبح بحمد ربه ولكن لا تفقهون تسبيحه. So you are truly in tasbih. Really. Even when you are tired and you are unable to really be joyfully singing the song, it's part of it. You know, you are a living, earthly entity in conditioned consciousness, so you get tired. Say, Subhanallah. So Allah made me tired. Allah made me forget. That's wonderful. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. So it becomes Nurun Alam. So that's all what it is really. I've been very fortunate in having had the time, the opportunity, all the time situations whereby I can move from sight to insight, from insight to higher, subtler, until I'm completely lost. And that is where you can find the nur of the ruh. So it's best not to know. In my case, especially, I don't want to know anything. What's the point? What I need to know will be given to me at the time that Allah knows it is the right time for me to know. Not as I think I now need it. Who told you that? How do you know? It may be better not to. Trust, trust, trust. Faith, faith, faith. Iman, iman, ihsan. Khalas. And then you're, at all time, your heart is cheerful, your mind is clear, and you hope that the people you meet to know, your friends, your people close to you, are on the same map, are on the same pattern, wanting maintain dignity, honesty, courage in this world, but being illumined by the Nur Sama. Allah Nur Samawati wal. That's it. Simple. Doesn't need much more. We need honesty, courage, and application, and maintaining the boundaries. And whenever there's an opportunity to prefer helping somebody else more than yourself. That's it. That's all what I know. Thank you, Shaykh Hamdi. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for sharing this this experiential wisdom with us. It's deep and very important. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, I maybe benefit from this greatly, inshallah. It speaks to the mind, it speaks to the heart, it speaks to the soul, and I will need to listen to it again and again, inshallah. I have from the experience that your personal experience and the experience of the students around you, I have a question about the difference between the psyche and the spiritual. what's the relationship between the psyche, the psychological experience, and the spiritual experience? What's the connection between them? Do we need to have a good mental health, a good, not disturbed, no disorder, no great disorder, psychologically speaking, in order for us to be able to have a spiritual journey? If you can just share some light with us about the psyche and the relationship and the correlation between the psyche and the spiritual.
The truth is, it is only spiritual. It is boundless and eternal. It is Rabbani, it is Rawhani, it is Samawi. That's the truth. But it is immense. That which is boundless, timeless, eternal is immense. So for that supreme supra consciousness to be confined to you and I and he and she, it needs to be modified. It needs to fall into a trap. Makr. This is the makr Allah. The trap is space and time. The trap is conditioned consciousness. So this divine consciousness, which is my ruh, in order for it to function within a body which is decaying, which is often ill or not sufficiently wholesome, healthy, or happy, in order for it to maintain radiating life into it, it needs to be modified. That's why we have this amazing cosmology of the human being. The mind with the billions of neurons and the links and the faculties and the organs and the zillions of connections between them. It's an entire cosmology, cosmic, that we don't respect it enough. We don't respect the body. We don't respect this temple which houses the nur of Haqq. Now, this nur, this ruh, the Rabbani ruh, has to function in a manner that is highly, highly modified. And that modification is the, if you like, this, as you called it, the psyche, is modified. And that modification has got numerous different facets in it. Some of it are inherited, some of it are cultural, some of it are evolved, some of it are accidental, and on and on. If the mind is too disturbed with a lot of, if you like, fears, anxieties, past experiences, accident, then whatever comes to you in the outer connectedness, you and nature and you and others, does not connect in a smooth way. And there are numerous ways that this becomes so distorted, such as schizophrenia. This is one of so many others. There are, at the moment, in the field of psychiatry and psychology, probably 30, 40, 50 different descriptions. Each one of them is more frightening than the others. You know, whether it is bipolarity and every few years you have new names as well. The truth is that for you and I to function, we just need reasonable well-beingness in the subtler side, reasonable awareness Otherwise, this distortion becomes our personality. But don't you know, I am bipolar. Don't speak to me. I may suddenly burst, I suddenly jump and strangle you. It becomes their signature tune. Don't speak to him like this, and they whisper to each other to acknowledge that they are well and the person they're talking about is psychologically sick. This is an invention of the modern age. I have in my own lifetime met many people, amongst the nicest people, whom psychologically would be considered very sick. Within the Sufi general, cultural understanding, they would call them majdoob. And then there are definitions of the majdoob. Majdoob means drawn, jadaba, to haqq. With haqq, nothing remains. There's only haqq. There's nothing other than the nur of haqq. There's no more personalities. It's the distortion we're living in that has created a very dangerous and abusive hierarchy of pseudoscience with the medications that distorts even more. So, of course, there are hiccups in the thousands of different faculties we have and connectedness. There's always something not quite smooth in there because of my abusiveness, my wrong diet, not having rest enough, not being relaxed enough, not having exercise enough, and much of it stems from my mental, if you like, distortion. What does it mean? I'm not generous enough. I'm not kind enough. I'm not honest enough to see everybody else as potentially the same as I. We all want the same thing. We want some comfort, some ease, some security, some assurance that what comes after death is magnificent and that tomorrow may be better than, and so on. We want hope. But we have distorted our day-to-day life to such an extent, it's not even materialistically enough. More this, more that, more power, more. Everybody wants to be a king. Everybody wants to be God. This is the trouble. Rather than lose yourself and only witness God. These are two totally different, divergent paths. So as a result of that, sicknesses will appear more and more and more. And we give them more and more names and more branches, so we make them real. It's definite, no, absolutely. Look at this very clear case, or whatever, all the names we give. We have, as human beings, left the path of losing the nafs, living by the light of the ruh. And as a result, we have entered into the jungle of illnesses, subtle and so-called medications, which increase also the jungle and the weeds that we all suffer. At the moment, it's unavoidable. It's not because of the person, because of what the person is afflicting others. Screaming suddenly, bipolarity. People need to have a bit of peace. So the psychiatrist has to come, in order to help the neighbors to live a bit more at peace. These are all signs that the path of rising in consciousness, rising in intelligence, to the point of pure awareness, pure intelligence, we have deviated them. This is how I see it.
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Barakallahu feekum. Around if you may one last question, inshallah. Around the people of Haqq, around the people of truth, you hear, from whom you may hear beautiful teachings, and you may acknowledge that they know what they are talking about. Around them often, and this is not unique to Sufis, but specifically, that's where I have experienced it. So around the people of Haqq, around the people of truth, often you find a subculture, fluffy subculture, that's very distracting and somehow. So what's the role of the people of Haqq in controlling that subculture? And do they have a role really? Is it just a qadar? Is it a makr, as you say, that it must be there, and then the sincere seeker needs to find his way or her way through that veil? Or there is a responsibility of the people of Haqq to manage that, to control that, to try to help to have a healthier culture around them, because often around the people of Haqq and the Ruh, or speaking of the Ruh and speaking of the death of the ego, you find like cutthroat, egotical competition. Who is closer? Who is more loved? Who is? And you know all of this, Shaykh Fadhlalla. So I don't need to speak much. I really want to hear from you.
I understand, and we don't need to also go that far either. It's just even recently, a few hundred years ago, you have so many big battles between different Sufi tariqas. And there are around any sheikh, there are people of darkness. And it also helps in a way to save this awakened person from too much rubbish. People come and see 2, 3 awful people around him. They say, oh, this is not a man of Haqq. So they go away. It's wonderful. So really, you don't know Allah's ways. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. The most important thing I can share with you is that the issue of personalities and people of Haqq during the last 100, 200 years have moved more and more from a person to the basic pattern of teaching. Until about 100 years ago, you couldn't go anywhere and say, who is he? Who is the leader? And you try to analyze the quality of the leader. This idea of the people are as good as their leader and so on has changed radically in the last few generations. It is important if you can find somebody who is living the truth and so on. But that issue of the leadership of the awakened person is morphed into a basic pattern, like what we are discussing. The pattern I know is that فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. You either go to your own lower ego and stupidity and you love to shine and be followed, or taqwa, lose yourself and realize the Lord of all, Rabbukum, and so on. So we have evolved a lot. Intelligence have risen. I'm not saying to be with people who are awakened or Ahl al-Haqq. It's very helpful, very good, but it hasn't got any more of that prominence as it had until 100, 200 years ago. Going back again to your question, there were great many battles among the great big Sufi tariqas. You know them very well in North Africa, elsewhere. That era is moved to now, you in the moment. Are you truly alive now? How much do you fear death? How joyful is your heart, with irrespective what it is? That is the issue. I think we have moved into a new zone. That's why you now need to go to the heart of the Quran, the nur of the Quran. And as a child, you have to also benefit from the basics of akhlaq and suluk, and all of that is necessary. But what is much more important is truly living the Quran joyfully, without imposing it on anyone, celebrating. That is the issue.
Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. Very, very beautiful, MashaAllah. So are you saying this age is the end? So the age of tariqas is gone now. It's so this age is an age of universal consciousness and global awareness, if I may put it in these words, and the tariqas have no role anymore in to offer the framework for this. So would you advise someone who is awakened, or God has awakened his intelligence, as I've explained in the beginning, do you advise a person like that to keep distance, to stay away from the microcosmos of tariqas and giving bay'ah to the sheikh or to that sheikh, etc., and just have their spiritual journey in shukr, in dhikr, in fikr, with and not go to and not belong really to a tariqa, because for me it is a serious question, because I've seen many people who, before belonging to tariqas and giving bay'ah to shuyukh, were, I mean, the way I see them, they were closer. I feel they were closer to the beauty of what spiritual awakeness could mean. Then after integrating this quote-unquote political system called tariqa, and because it became that's how it is now. It's more than a school, it's a political system. So moving forward now, what should are you preaching, or are you advising a free tasawwuf, like going back to the origins, where everyone like, you know, you work, you strive for that awakening within you, and you grow in love, and you grow in awakening, and you love your Lord, and then you serve people spiritually from the spirit. So the tariqa as framework is not something that should be considered anymore.
No, I don't advocate any of that. Whatever had come in the past was part of the big plan, part of the divine design, and they've helped in lifting consciousness, lifting intelligence, and they've all served a great purpose, and they still may serve many people. The only thing I can say is that 400 or 500 years ago, your identity was very much related to the tariqas you were in. And the tariqas you were in also very much a function of the geography and the culture of the people, the way they brew teas, and how high do you keep the pouring of of the mint tea. It was all right. And even now it can be exceedingly useful. The main thing is to be aware of the sacredness of the moment. That's all what there is. Your contact with Haqq is the moment. If you are in the moment, in the moment, in the moment, then you have ba'a nafsahu lillah. That's what it means. Otherwise, many of these ayahs cannot be understood. How do you sell yourself to God? God is eternal. One avenue to that, one pathway to that is be in the moment, be in the now, 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 now. There is no yesterday, there is no fear of tomorrow. So, tariqas can be useful. Sharia is essential, but not in this stodgy, heavy-handed way. And haqiqah is all prevailing. If haqiqah touches you every now and then keep that touch until such time you know there is only haqiqah. And the answer will come to you from haqiqah. This is a nice tariqah. I am here in this town. Everybody is adhering to it. Why not join them? That's it. But this excessive deification of a sheikh or of a tariqah and this then becomes, as you know, competition amongst the less intelligent people around the sheikh. Our sheikh is a greater sheikh. He is sheikh al-shuyukh. He's the qutb al-qutub. And. You know, this is the lower nature of human being to do that. What you want is to lose all of these names, colors, hues into that which is the source of everything. So that is what it means. Take whatever is helpful to you at that time. Also, every one of us changes. You now are very much different to what you were 5 years ago. Find the people who knew you 5 years ago and come and talk to them now. So, oh my God, you have really changed. Oh, obviously, this is Allah's rahmah. What was important for you 5 years ago may even not occur to you. On and on and on until you are at the gate of eternal timelessness and boundlessness. No space, no time. Without denying the fact that your ruh is giving life to a being who is in space and time. Your body. That's it. Both of them are there. Ummatan wasata. We are in the middle between the infinite, boundless, eternal, and the finite, earthly condition. The most important thing also is to acknowledge boundaries, limitations. This is honoring and humbling. We are honored. So I can't do that. I don't know it. I prefer safety. It's wonderful. Maintain boundaries. I can't help it. Otherwise, one's heart and empathy goes for millions of people. You can't do it. How many people can you help? Because it needs, like a child, it needs care all the time. You can't just say, come, here we have enough, wonderful. It won't work. It won't work. That's why some very, if you like, enthusiastic murid will invite everybody from the city, come, because they want a number. Al-hakum al-takathur.
Allah.
How can you help them? Well, that's it. So again, it's Allah's rahmah. You never know, suddenly somebody comes and makes such a mess that everybody runs away. What a gift. Really, big gift. It's real. They all run away. See what Allah is doing. You were collecting murids, he said, And now suddenly they heard something or they saw something, they all ran. Oh Allah rahmatuh. Wa rahmati wasi'at kull shay. That's it.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Well, subhanallah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Shukran lakum. I'm very, very honored and really humbled by this encounter, and very happy, very glad. And thank you for allowing us for allowing me in this beautiful space that the divine has blessed you with and is blessing you with this moment and this now. Alhamdulillah, what a moment, and what an hour. ساعة من ساعات الله. It has been an hour. Alhamdulillah, ساعة من ساعات الله. This is an hour from the sa'at of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, I don't want to keep you with us more. You have more important things to do, and I will keep inshallah listening and listening and meditating on what you have shared, and really I feel alhamdulillah, I'm very happy. And there is an increasing trust, and this is it's pure, it's haqq, it's clear, and no fluff, alhamdulillah. And that's the kind of friendship of the soul I'm looking for, honestly. And please be my friend.
I cannot but be your friend. I cannot but reflect what you said and honor the gift of Allah, that there are people like you, more and more and we celebrate it. And I pray that you yourself also will provide the hijab as well, so that you are not in any way distracted and afflicted, so that you are available for the right moment, for the right occasion. But there is no nafs, there is no desire, no personal wish in it. Allah decided that now you have to truly open up and be kind, considerate, and recite the right ayah for whoever it is, and so on. But that is how the deen will come to be alive again, without denying the past, without denying all of the different wonderful outbursts that occur, the different flavors of the tariqas, and. But that can only happen if we approach the Quran appropriately. اخلعنا عليك إنك في الوادي المقدس طوى. There's no you, no protection. Allah will guide. And you will create a circle of people who have gone beyond the mind into their ruh, into their heart. And there is no desire for them to show off or to establish a rank. I am higher, I am lower. As long as there is an I, there is a fall. Because there is a shadow. So we can't deny that. It's always there. So all what we hope and pray is that for a while it is not leading us, because it will mislead us. Nafs al-ammaratun bisu. So we have to be, and then have fun. It must be joyful, cheerful. It must, because it's a celebration of being immersed in the ocean of haqiqah, of truth. I would like us to have another session whenever, in a few weeks' time, and inshallah, we'll again continue celebrating the different gardens that have come through from the infinite boundlessness to the finite earthly consciousness by rahmah, rahmah, rahmah. We celebrate that. Different colors, different smells, different perfumes. We share it so that the ruh remains for a while. Otherwise, the ruh doesn't stay here. It is Rabbani, Samawi, Rouhani. How does it stay in this, body which is sick, which is every moment is closer to decay and death? It's a miracle. These are the things we can enjoy sharing. Truly, وَبِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. Amazing, amazing, amazement. We are here in this world to be in awe. Subhanallah, subhanallah. La ilaha illa ant subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. This is our fun. Really, otherwise it becomes theological argument and historical debate. It has its place for other people. But if your intelligence has reached the point that is now spiritual intelligence, you can't do it anymore. You don't have the dhawq for it, the taste for it. Khalas. We have to be honest to that. So you're no more in that state, in that hal, nor maqam. So Bismillah. Be in the moment, Abdul waqt. And waqt has no nihayat. Allah's presence, Allah's dominance, Allah's eternal. So that's it. We can meet again soon. Maybe it will be such that we will just sit in silence and that's it.
MashaAllah. Yes.
That's the best.
Alhamdulillah.
Complete silence. And maybe Haj Mustafa then will say something because he likes to have some sound somewhere, which is nice also. Remind us we are still in this body. You're
Allah,
not dead.
Allah, Allah. I would love actually to thank you for offering this, and absolutely, inshallah, we'll meet again. Ameen, ameen, ameen. And I would love to meet you physically, as you said, because we are in these bodies now, and that physical touch is important. I would love to come and see you in South Africa if you allow that.
I am in a state here that I cannot allow anything nor disallow anything. I used to enjoy being involved in gatherings, annual, that was nice. But I don't have the taste for it anymore. But I am here. If you are here, you are welcome, welcome, welcome. I have nice coffee, I'll share it with you. If you are not here, I also will say welcome, welcome.
Alhamdulillah.
They're not the same, but there are slight differentiation, that's all. But we can also meet again through this amazing invention, because we're not touching physical materials. It's to do with the nur in your own heart. Allah. It's the same as the nur in every heart.
Allah.
Every ruh is the same.
Allah.
These are the key things that people don't realize.
Allah.
The ruh of the greatest wali or prophet and the ruh of the criminal.
Allah.
It is the cover which is the nafi, the layers, the mind, the distortion makes him criminal. Ruh is min amri Rabb. So,
Allah.
Bismillah. You're
Bismillah.
welcome, and I'm quite happy for us to have meetings, visible, invisible, and in between. I only respond now. If it has happened, it's fine. If I can be of any use without any expectations, fine. If there isn't, fine. So if the whole thing is cancelled, I even celebrate more.
Allah bless you. Allah bless you. Inshallah, we'd love. Alhamdulillah. Keep me in your prayers, and keep us in your prayers, and if you may.
By prayers, I keep nothing.
Allah.
So, there's nothing. It's just the light of Haqq. So how can I keep you? I'm sorry.
Beautiful. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Who am I to keep anything or take anything? It's Allah's
Allah.
Brings Allah. What?
Allah. Allah. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. Thank you, Haj Mustafa. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
thank
Shaykh
you.
Fadhlalla. Thank you very much, Shaykh
You're
Hamdi.
welcome. You're
And
welcome.
I'll be in touch.
Welcome.
Thank you very
Bismillah.
much. Bismillah, Bismillah.
Welcome, 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 welcome. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن. So what else?